So I'm going to talk about contents. 112 cards as follow: 19 blue cards, 19 green cards, 19 red cards, 19 yellow cards, 8 skip cards, 8 reverse cards, 8 draw 2 cards, 4 wild cards, 4 wild draw 4 cards, and instructions. Object. So the first player to play all the cards in their hand in each round scores point for the cards their opponents are left holding. The first player to score 500 points wins the game. Setup. Each player draws a card. Player with the highest point value is the dealer. Shuffle the deck. Each player is dealt 7 cards. Place the remaining cards face down to form a draw pile. Turn over the top card of the draw pile to begin a 4 discard pile. In the top card is the wild draw 4. Return it to deck and pick another card. For all other cards, see directions that follow.
This game has also some special cards. These special cards are divided in 5 cards in a normal game. Talking about the type 1 is a draw 2 card. When you play this card, the next person to play must draw 2 cards and forfeit her turn. If this card is turned up at the beginning of play, the first player must draw 2 cards. This card may only be played on a matching color or another draw 2 card. The reverse card. This card reverses direction of play. Play to the left now passes to the right, and vice versa. This card may only be played on a matching color or on another skip card. The skip card. The next person in line to play after this card is played losses. Her turn and is skipped. If this card is turned up at the beginning of play, the first player, the player to the left of the dealer, is skipped. This card may only be played on a matching color or on another skip card. Wild card. When you play this card, you may change the color being played to any color, including the current color. To continue play, you may play a wild card even if you have another playable card in hand. If this card is turned up at the beginning of play, the person to the left of the dealer chooses the color to begin play and plays the first card. And the wild draw 4 card. This card allows you to call the next color played and requires the next player to pick up 4 cards from the draw pile and forfeit her turn. However, there's a hitch that usually people don't know. You can only play this card when you don't have a card in your hand that matches the color of the card previously played. If turned up at the beginning of play, return this card to the deck and pick another card. Note, a player may play a wild draw 4 card even if they have a matching number or word card of a different color in their hand. If you suspect the other player suspect that a player has played a wild draw 4 card illegally, you may challenge them. A challenged player must show her hand to the player who challenged. If the challenged player is guilty, she must draw the 4 cards. If the challenged player is not guilty, the challenger must draw 4 cards plus 2 additional cards. Only the person required to draw the 4 cards can make the challenge.
You may choose not to play a playable card from your hand. If so, you must draw a card from a draw pile. If playable, that card can be played, but you may not play a card from your hand after the draw. Rules for 2 players. The following special rules apply of 2-player Uno. First, playing a reverse card works like as picking a skip card. By playing the reverse card, you may immediately play another card. By playing a skip card, you may immediately play another card. Third, after playing a draw 2 or a wild draw 4, your opponent draws the number of cards indicated, and play is back to you. If you are the first to get rid of all your cards, you get points from the cards left in the other player's hands. Use the included score pad to record your score after each hand. Each card is worth the following: all number cards from 0 to 9, face value. Drop 2, 20 points. Reverse, 20 points. Skip, 20 points. Wild, 50 points. And will drop 4, 50 points. The blank cards have no value. The winner is the fifth player to reach 500 points. However, the game may be scored by keeping a running total of points each player is caught with at the end of each hand. When one player reaches 500 points, the player with lowest points is the winner.
Challenge 1. This game is scored by keeping a running total of what each player is caught holding in his her hand as each player reaches a designated amount of 500 is suggested. The player is eliminated from the game when only 2 players are left in the game. They play head-to-head. See rules for 2 players above. When a player reaches or exceeds the amount designated, they lose. The winner of that final hand is declared the winning player of the game. This variation is the most challenging to play. The makers of Uno find this variation the most challenging way to play.